So from all the different sensations of you right now, all the different layers of you right now, what's the wellest place in you? Where do you feel the most resourced, the most connected, the most easy, the most comfortable? And just allow yourself to really enjoy that place. I'm always amazed at what presents itself. You know, right now for me today, there's something about my cheekbones. There's like the sweep of my cheekbones feels really resourced. I'm like, wow, my cheekbones feel really great today. And so just allow it to emerge rather than assume you know how you feel well in yourself, because often we don't. Just listening in, connecting in. And then maybe acknowledge anything that doesn't feel great today. You know, maybe you feel stress, or maybe you like a flurry in your chest, or a pressure somewhere in you. Maybe you feel physical discomfort someplace, a vulnerability. Maybe you feel an amazing itch someplace. You know, maybe you feel just uncomfortable for some reason. Just be aware of that, acknowledge it, be present to it. And acknowledge your wellness as well. Know that there is wellness and there is other, but we have that balance, that ability to feel both, be with both, manage both. Francesca, I'm going to get you to go off and get 2 tins of something, whatever it might be. 2 tins of chickpeas or whatever, okay? And then just notice the back of your body, the back of your head, the back of your shoulders, the way the lower back, there's flesh and there's boniness, the backs of your thighs, the backs of your calves, your heels, and the soles of your feet. Lorna, I'm going to get you to run off and get 2 tins of tomatoes or chickpeas, whatever comes to hand, the easiest. Or 2 objects, 2 little dumbbells if you have them, 2 little somethings. And just feeling into the sense of the weight of you. And can you bring your attention inwards? You know that a lot of the time we spend a lot of our attention outwards. So can you just really fall inside, really drop inside, and just notice how it is to be inside you. Nice. Great. And then just coming to bend your knees and bring your feet to stand. And so you're resting on your back, your knees are bent. Your hands can rest, if you wish, on your lower belly, or you can rest your arms long beside you. And then just pull your lower back down and flatten into the floor. And then arching, breathing into your belly as you arch your lower back. And then flatten your lower back down, pulling backwards. So always in this movement, all we're doing is just checking in, like, how is my spine today? How did that run, or that cycle, or that digging in the garden, or all that driving around the county yesterday, how did it go? How does it feel in my body today? So as you flatten down, as you arch, how does this feel in your body? How do you connect into the full of you in this moment as you flatten down and as you arch? Nice. And then drop your knees over towards the right. Just feeling that sense of falling down. And then back up to center. And then knees over towards the left. And then back up to center. And then just sway your knees from side to side. So as you sway, as you move from side to side, there are sensations that will emerge. So for me, the bones of my pelvis are telling me about themselves. The muscles of my lower back and my waist are talking. the sides of my hips, my knees, my feet, my ankles. There's this sense of everything from the diaphragm down has a voice or has a sensation emerging in it. Just notice that for you. How is that to feel the deep of the lower body? It's just swaying your knees from one side to the other side. Nice. Come all the way back to center. Squeeze both knees towards you. And as you hug them in, now it's a different sensation. There's a different compressive force as you pull your knees with your hands down towards your chest. Just feeling the widening of the sacrum, the pulling backwards of the deep. So you're imagining that your pelvis is moving backwards, or that your sacrum is trying to come to the floor. So you're widening into the back of your body. And when you have that imagination, there's a deeper kind of meeting of the ligaments, of the bones of your body. So your bum isn't lifting up, you're really sinking your bum backwards. Nice, and then stretch both legs up towards the ceiling, and just roll out through your ankles, big circles with your ankles. As you roll, really just appreciate the full movement of your feet, the outer edges, the inner edges, and then in the other direction. What is the full range of what is possible as you roll? Nice, point your toes, flex your feet, point your toes, flex your feet, and then point your toes and flex your feet. And then just squeeze your toes in like fists and open them. I'll do that a few times. Squeeze, open, squeeze, open, squeeze, open, squeeze, open, squeeze, open. Nice. Bend your knees and bring your arms so they're wide beside you. So your arms are out in a cross. Squeeze your knees deeply up towards your chest. And squeeze your knees even more up towards your chest. And your arms are wide, your palms are facing the ceiling, and you're trying to squeeze your thighs as close towards your belly as you can. Keep your knees together, keep your ankles together. There will be a sense of effort or a sense of work into the abdominal muscles. And keep squeezing your thighs closer and closer towards your belly. Nice, and then slowly lower your toes down, let your toes tap the floor lightly. Keep your lower back on the floor as you drop your toes down. And then squeeze your knees again, really close up towards your chest. And then lower your toes down, let them touch the floor. Keep your lower back on the floor. And again, let your knees travel up, squeezing them deeply upwards. And let your toes drop down and let them tap the floor. Nice. Draw your knees up towards your chest. Keep your knees together, your ankles together. And then draw your right knee over towards your right shoulder, right elbow. So you're really trying to draw upwards with your knee. So you're you're trying to keep that squeeze on. So as your right knee travels over towards your right elbow, right shoulder, just feel the deep of your belly, the deep of that right hip as you squeeze closer and closer towards your chest. Your knees are hovering. Doesn't really matter the range of where you go, it's about you listening to your range. Nice, come back to center, squeeze your knees again, deeply up towards your chest. And then left elbow over towards, or left knee over towards your left shoulder, left elbow. And just feel that. Deep of your belly working. Squeezing, drawing them up. Keep connecting, and then back to center. And then we're going to do smiley knees. So bring your knees directly over your hips, and then sway your knees so that your right knee comes up in the direction of your right elbow. And then bring your knees back over your hips, and then sway your left knee up towards your left elbow. And then back so your knees are over your hips. So you're doing smiley knees or horseshoe knees. So you're drawing a half circle with your knees. And just feel that. Up towards the left, back to center, up towards the right, back to center. And really feel the squeeze as you draw up, squeeze, back to center, squeeze, back to center, squeeze, back to center. One more time each way, squeeze, back to center, and squeeze, back to center. Nice, bring both feet to the floor. Bring your arms long beside you, And then just roll up along your spine. And now we're opening all those muscles we were squeezing, we're now lengthening them. So just feel the front of your hips, the front of your belly, the deep of the front of your thighs lengthening. Just pausing there at the full, it's like a sigh or an easing through the front muscles of your body. Squeeze through your buttocks. Push your hips a little bit higher through that squeeze. And then begin to roll up and down along your spine. So as you roll up and down along your spine, just really appreciate that you're opening the front of your hips, you're opening the front of your thighs as you roll up, as you roll down. Rolling up and rolling down. Nice, one more time. Rolling up and just pause on the up. Squeeze through the buttocks, push deeply into your heels. Feel like your big toe is really engaging so that your knees are slightly squeezing towards each other. And just pausing there. Nice, lowering all the way down. Drop your arms out to the side. We're going to do the gliding twist. So drop both knees down towards the right. And then glide your left knee up in the direction of your right elbow. And gliding all the way back. Both feet to the floor. Drop your knees down towards the left. And glide the right knee up in the direction of the left elbow. And just continue gliding from one side to the other. So the gliding twist, we're going to be moving a different part of the rib cage. Before we were squeezing and balancing in the air. Now it's the top part of the body that's going to be working more. Because the bottom part, when you drop over towards the right side is resting more. Well, not really, but it's different. Just feel that as you rock from one side to the other side. How do you notice this movement in your body? Really deepening into the rib cage, the belly, the hips, the sides of the body. Nice, and then all the way back to center. Super. So grab your tins of whatever it is, tinned peaches, ambrosia, creamed rice, and then just have them there beside you, either side, just near your hands. And then bring the soles of your feet together, your knees apart, and let your knees drop wide. So you're just falling wide into the knees, falling wide into the thighs, your feet are touching, the baby toe sides of your feet are resting on the floor. And then flatten your lower back down into the floor. So as you flatten down into the floor, notice that it's the lower belly that you've just engaged. You've engaged something around the navel. And you've also pulled the rib cage backwards. So just feel that again. So relax into the belly, let it arch. And then pull your lower back into the floor. Notice the lower belly is engaging, the navel is engaging, and the rib cage is engaging. So grab your tins and then just reach your hand. So be careful, these objects can fall on your face. I know that's really obvious, but I'm just going to name it, okay? So hold on to them tight, okay, right? So your arms are straight up towards the ceiling. You're holding on to your tins or whatever they are. And then flatten the lower back again down into the floor. So you're reaching your hands as close towards the ceiling as you can, and you're really holding strong onto the objects that you're holding, because that engages the forearms. It changes the tone in your arms. So you're holding firm and you're reaching up towards the ceiling. Pull your lower back deeper into the floor. And then keeping your lower back incredibly steady, slowly begin to drop your arms down or your hands down until they approach the floor above your head. But don't let your belly lift. Don't let your lower back lift. And then come all the way up. Keep reaching through your knuckles as you reach straight up over your shoulders with your hands. And then again, keep the lower back on the floor. Keep engaging the lower belly, the navel, the rib cage as you drop your arms down overhead. So do that a few more times. Keep reaching through your knuckles, keep gripping firmly with your hands. And again, drop your arms down overhead. And just pause when your hands are just a few inches off the floor, 1 or 2 inches off the floor. Engage even deeper through the navel, pulling backwards. Engage through the belly. Pull your rib cage backwards. And you'll notice as you pull your rib cage backwards, your armpits slightly round forward. Nice. So now begin to lift your hands up straight towards the ceiling, and then bring your hands down towards your feet. Lift your head and reach through your arms like as if you're just about to lift your spine off the floor. So you're like reaching through your knuckles and slowly lowering down. Keep your lower back on the floor, bring your head down and then drop your arms overhead, keeping your lower belly and your rib cage contained. Just going to do that really slowly. Reach your hands straight up towards the ceiling. Reach your hands down towards your feet and imagine you're just about to lift up with your spine off the floor. So feel like you're like, oh, I just want to go, and then go, oh, okay. Rolling slowly back. Keep your lower back on the floor, drop your head, reach your arms overhead. And again, slowly rolling up, pausing, just when your hands are reaching down towards your feet. Feel what's engaging, the deep lower belly. And slowly rolling back. Head comes to the floor, drop your arms overhead. Last time. Slowly rising up. And reach your hands down towards your feet, pausing there. Really deeply engaging through the arms. And then lift your feet off the floor and draw your shoulders up towards your ears. No, up towards your draw your knees up towards your shoulders. Sorry. Keep reaching through your arms. Draw your knees a bit higher. Nice. Lower your feet down. Drop your head down. Keep your lower back on the floor. Reach your arms overhead. And again, reach your arms down towards your feet. Lift your knees up. And bring your knees up towards your shoulders. Lower your feet down. Bring the baby toe edge of your feet to the floor. Drop your arms overhead. Drop your head down. And then rise. Lift your knees up towards your shoulders. And reach your hands down towards your feet. Last time, lower your feet down. Reach your arms overhead. Woo. Bring your hands straight up over your shoulders and really slow. So keep your lower back flattened into the floor again. Baby toe edge of your feet is on the floor. And slowly drop your arms out to the sides into a cross. So go really slowly, really slowly. Just widen through the chest, reaching out through your arms as wide as you can go. And then slowly reach your hands straight up towards the ceiling. And pause there. Keep your rib cage engaged. Lower your arms down slowly until the backs of your hands almost touch the floor. But you're reaching through your arms the whole time. Keep your lower back down, keep your rib cage down. Rising up, straight up towards the ceiling. Nice, last time. Lower your arms down until they're almost on the floor. Rib cage down, navel down. Pausing there with your hands floating just above the floor. Lift your feet off the floor. Draw your knees up towards your shoulders. And then lower your baby toe edge of your feet to the floor. Let it land. And again, lift your feet up off the floor. Draw your knees up towards your shoulders. And lower your baby toe edge of your feet to the floor. Nice. Reach your arms straight up towards the ceiling. And lower your blocks down. Or your things down. Let them rest. Bring your knees together and then just squeeze your right knee up onto your chest, hug it in. So you've dropped your things, your hands are just hands again. Feels kind of funny. Squeeze your right knee up onto your chest, hugging it deeply in, and then stretch your left leg long until it floats just above the floor. So again, engage the lower belly, engage the navel, engage the rib cage, stretch out long through that left leg, squeeze the right knee even closer. Stretch the left leg straight up towards the ceiling. And try and draw the left foot as close towards your face or towards the wall above your head. And really feel, you can, if your left hand is in the way, you can bring your left arm beside you. And you're trying to draw your left leg as close towards your face as you can. And then slowly lower the left leg down until it floats just above the floor. And then rise, let your left leg lift. And with the effort of your leg, let your leg come as close towards your face as you can. And then lower your leg down until it floats just above the floor. One more time, stretch your left leg up. Let your leg come towards your face. And just pausing there, squeezing the right knee deeply down, either with one hand or both hands. And your left leg is really, it's seeking lengthening, it's seeking connection, it's reaching down along the bone of itself. Can you drop weight into your bum? Can you really sink the weight of the back of your body a little bit more? Can you feel all of your toes? Nice. Stretch both legs up towards the ceiling and change. Interlock your fingers around the left knee and squeeze the left knee down towards you. And slowly lower the right leg down until it floats just above the floor. So let your lower belly engage, let your rib cage engage and the navel engage. So you're really pulling backwards, and then stretch a bit longer down into that right heel to feel that you're reaching from the deep of your belly down into the heel. And then pull your left thigh closer and closer. Nice. And then you can, if you want, bring your right arm long beside you and then begin to swing your right leg. So swinging your right leg up until you feel that your leg is moving down in the direction of your face and you feel the length through the back of the right leg. And then swing your leg down until it floats just above the floor. But as your leg lowers down, keep the navel engaged. Rising up, straight up towards the ceiling and then a little bit towards your face. Feel the engagement of how you stretch your own leg. So what we're doing now is range of motion rather than flexibility. Flexibility is where we pull the leg and where can we pull the leg to. Whereas range of motion is where can your own leg move to without any external force. And then lower your right leg down until it floats just above the floor. And one last time. What is the range of motion that you can deepen into with the right leg as your heel surges up, as your toes move towards your face, as you really sink the weight into the pelvis and really drop into the shoulders. And keep squeezing that right thigh towards your belly, engaging the deep psoas, the deep thigh. Nice. And then stretch both legs up towards the ceiling and grab your tins again. And then reach both hands straight up towards the ceiling. So really hold firmly to your tins. And then sway both legs. So both feet are coming a little bit closer to your face. And then sway both legs so both legs are moving away from you, but only to the point where your lower back stays on the floor. And so sway a little bit closer with your legs. Maybe your bum lifts a little bit. And then sway your legs down to whatever point they travel. So it's not about being like somebody else, it's like being you. So what is your range in this movement? What is the true range of you in this movement? So you can slowly begin to lower your arms a little bit more overhead if you wish. It does give you a little bit more range of motion. It is stronger into the arms, into the abdominal muscles. But just see, where is the point where you feel the weight of your tins supports you to move a bit deeper into the pose. Just notice, how do you lift your feet towards the floor above your head, or how do you drop your heels towards the floor away from you? How do you use your arms and the weight of the balance to move? Nice, one more time. Nice, and then pause there with both legs up towards the ceiling and bring your feet wide. So your arms are still holding onto your tins, your shoulders are pushing forward, your feet have widened out to the side, and you're pushing down into the baby toe edge of your feet, dropping back into the pelvis, and you're elongating through your inner thighs. Nice. So bend your knees slowly, and then bring your toes to touch, kind of down, kind of as if you were doing butterfly knees or something, so your toes are touching. And then straighten your legs out to the sides, and then try and draw your feet a little bit up. So it's almost like you're trying to draw your toes towards the floor, either side of your shoulders, you know, whatever that means. Okay, and then bend your knees, bring your toes to touch. So they're down near your pelvis, down near your belly, your toes. And then straighten your legs. And imagine that you can lift your feet up towards the floor, either side of your ears. So moving your blocks a little bit overhead will actually help you move a little bit more. Your bum a little bit off the floor, perhaps. See what that's like. So your toes come to touch, you straighten your legs come wide, and your toes come towards the floor a little bit. And just see, does the ballast, the weight of your tins, help you move a little bit deeper into your inner thighs, into the lifting of your bum? Just notice, how do you do this? So you're widening and then your toes touch, widening and then your toes come to above your ears kind of thing. One more time, toes touch, legs widen, toes come towards the floor. Nice, bring your knees together, bring your arms straight up towards the ceiling. Drop your knees towards the right, drop your straight arms towards the left. And just feel like you're balancing your arms towards the right and your knees towards the left. And find the point of balance. Come back up to center. And then drop your knees to the left and your tins to the right. But they don't touch the floor. You're balancing, you're suspending both in the air. Both arms are straight-ish. The left one in front is a little bit bent, but that's okay. And then just sway from side to side. Sway your knees to the right, arms to the left. And swaying your knees to the left and your arms to the right. And really feel how, with the weight of these things, can you deepen a little bit at the end. There's this kind of place where you reach a little bit further through your arms and it gives you a little bit deeper movement into your knees. How do you do that? One more time each side, deepening one way, and then deepening the other way. Nice, come all the way back up to center, drop your things down, drop your arms straight out to the side so your arms are in cross, drop your feet to the floor, and then just do the pelvic tilt. So flatten your lower back down, and then arch into the lower back. Flatten your lower back down, and arch into the lower back. Nice. So make sure your tins aren't in the way because you're going to be dropping your knees from side to side. And so have your ankles together and your knees together. And then drop your right knee, only your right knee, straight out to the side. So your right baby toe side of your foot is on the floor and your right thigh is close to the floor. And now rock so that your right thigh is actually on the floor. So for me to do that, I kind of lift my left bum a little bit off the floor and I tilt my pelvis a little bit towards the right. And now your left leg is left knee is up towards the ceiling and your left foot is on the floor. So you're going to start to move the left knee. So you're going to start swaying the left knee towards the left, but your right thigh will not move. So you can, if you want, bring your hand to the front of your right thigh as you try and pull your left knee as far to the left as it'll go. And then bring it back. And sometimes I like swaying my knee a little bit towards the right and then over towards the left. Where's the movement of this leg? Where does it naturally move to? Where do I feel the stretch as I draw my left knee towards the left and sway it a bit towards the right? The left knee to the left and a bit towards the right. Notice the end of the range. Where do you feel this in your body? And then what happens on the return as you draw your knee a little bit towards the right? How do you feel this in your body? And then the next time you come to the end of your range, just pause there and lean into it. So your right thigh is resting on the floor, your right hand is resting on your thigh, and your left knee is really seeking to move towards the left. Nice. Bring your left knee back up to center, bring your right knee back up to center, and drop your left knee out to the side. And then drop your left thigh until your left thigh and calf and knee are on the floor. Bring your left hand to the inner thigh of the left leg, and then sway your right leg towards the right. And then rock it a bit towards the left. And just feel that in your body. How do you sway? And for me, if I push my pelvis a bit towards the left at the end of the range of motion. So if I really push my right foot into the floor, I can feel like there's something deeper that happens. So the more I'm really strong in this movement, the more I feel the support of the belly, of the lower back, of the buttocks. So notice for you, how do you make this movement a connected movement in your body? Swaying your right knee a bit towards the left and then deeply towards the right. Right, the next time we go, we're going to pause there. So your left thigh is staying on the floor, your right knee is moving away, and you're really deepening into the left, well, the deep of your pelvis, and your right knee really moving away, away, away. Nice, and soften that and come back to center. Super. So, lift both feet off the floor, bring the soles to your feet together, your knees apart. And then bring your arms wide so your arms are out to the sides. And then, now we're going to sway our knees from side to side, keeping the soles of your feet together. So drop your right knee down towards the right. And then come back up to center. And then drop your left knee down towards the left. And come back up to center. And really see if you can feel how you balance. There's the last little push where you're actually maybe touching the floor, and it's a bit like navigating a maze. It's like, how do I engage my abdominal muscles to really support the contact or a little bit deeper? Just rock from side to side, bringing your thigh really as deeply down one side as it'll go, and then deeply down on the other side as it'll go. Nice. Come back to center, soles of your feet together, knees apart. So we're going to do a movement when we're twisted, but we're going to learn it here. So keeping your left leg exactly as it is, actually bring both knees together and your feet apart. Okay, so this is one of the movements, and then bring the soles of your feet together and your knees apart, and this is the other movement, but we're going to be doing half and half of that. So keep your left leg as it is, and then bring your right knee to your left foot so that your right leg is in knees together, feet apart. So your two legs are like a windscreen wiper, and your two knees are pointing towards the left, and your 2 feet are pointing towards the right, and your right thigh is touching your left foot. And then bring the soles of your feet together, both of them, and then keep your right thigh as it is, and draw the left knee in so that it comes towards your right foot. So both knees are pointing towards the right, and both feet are pointing towards the left. And then come back up, both feet together. So we're going to try that in our twist, okay? So drop, arms are long beside you, or out to the sides beside you in your cross. Your arms are strong to do this. So slowly begin to drop your right knee down towards the right. And then draw your left knee down to touch your right foot. So now your 2 feet are pointing towards the left, but you're twisted towards the right. Bring the soles of your feet together. Come back up to center. Drop your left knee down towards the left with your soles of your feet together and your knees apart. And now your right leg will twist. Draw your right knee towards your left foot. And then come back to both feet together. Come back to center. So let's try that each way. The right knee goes down to the side. Your left knee comes to your right foot. Both feet together. Come back up to center. Left knee down to the side. And then your right knee comes to your left foot. And then both feet together. Back up to center. So to deepen this, you can almost try and bring your left knee to the floor as you go over towards the right. So bring your right knee over towards the right. And then try and bring your left knee to the floor near your, so you're really trying to deepen down towards the floor with both of your legs, but you're not touching the floor. Bring the soles of your feet together, come back up, and then drop over towards the left, and try and bring your right knee to the floor beside your left foot. But you're almost there, but you're not touching. And then come back up. Nice, one more time each side. Soles of your feet together in the middle, drop your right knee over towards the right. Try and bring your left knee down towards the floor as it touches your right foot. So you're now trying to really lengthen the left side of your body in balancing. Back up to center, soles of your feet together, back up to center. Last time, drop your knees down towards the left. And then bring your right knee to your left foot. And imagine that you can bring them to the floor, almost. And back up to center. Cool. Stretch both legs up towards the ceiling. And then just bring your feet into happy baby pose. So just pausing there, holding onto your feet and sinking deeply down into your hips, sinking deeply down into the pelvis. Stretch both legs up towards the ceiling. And then flick yourself up into a seated position. So, start with your legs long in front of you and grab your 2 tins and have them kind of close to your knees to begin with. And so you're sitting on your bum and find your seat. Find that sense of how you sit on your bum. And then pick up your 2 tins and stretch your arms straight out in front of you. So remember, these things can fall, so hold on to them firmly. Great. And then sit up really tall. So push down into your sit bones and feel like your spine is getting really tall. And really feel like your arms are moving more and more forward all the time. So it's like your knuckles are moving forward as your spine gets taller. And then slowly bring your arms straight out to the side. Nice. So turn your hands down, so palms down or tins down. And then tins towards the wall behind you. And then tins, as you roll your shoulders forward, turn your hands back to front. So your tins are now facing the ceiling and your shoulders have deeply rolled forward to do that. So rolling forward, you've really rounded your shoulders deeply forward. Nice. Tins towards the floor. And now we're going to go so our hands roll up towards the ceiling. So now your chest is opening as your hands roll up towards the ceiling. And then really sit tall, widen through the chest as you really open into the arms. Nice. So we'll try that again. Palms face down, palms face back towards the wall behind you, and then you roll your shoulders forward. Your head drops down as your palms or your tins face towards the ceiling, back to front as such. Palms face downwards, and now you open your chest by rolling your palms up towards the ceiling. Really reach and deepen into your chest as you roll deeply. Nice. Bring your hands back till your both hands are face downwards. And then we're going to do opposites. So one hand will roll down and the other hand will roll up. And then try the other way. One hand will roll down and the other hand will roll up. One more time each side and then we'll give our arms a break. One hand rolls down. Go really slowly. Feel the pivot or the rotation into your shoulders. And then the last one hand rolls down and the other hand rolls up. Nice. And both palms look the same. Bring your hands back into center. Drop your arms down. Just roll out through your shoulders. In a lot of different trainings, they actually get you to hold on to tennis balls. Tennis balls will be harder for us all to find this morning. So holding on to tennis balls actually engages the musculature, whereas our hands are out there out to the sides, we've actually disengaged the edges of us. And so when you hold on to tennis balls and make movements, you're actually connecting the fascia in a totally different way. So it's this whole, this kind of thing that I'm researching at the moment, how to engage down into the edges of you. Nice, so take your tins again. And then lean back and lift your feet off the floor. So your feet are slightly off the floor, and then just reach your 2 tins straight out forward in front of you. So they're straight out from your shoulders. Nice. And then bring both over towards the right. So both are over towards the right. And then either side of your legs. And then both over towards the left. And then either side of your legs. And then both over towards the right, and then try and bring them down as close as they can towards the floor. And then either side of your legs. And then try and bring them all the way over towards the left, as close to the floor as they'll go. And then either side of your legs. Nice. So down to the floor on the right. Either side. down to the floor on the left, and either side. One more time each side. Down to the floor on the right, either side, and then down to the floor on the left, and either side. Super. Slowly lift the right arm straight up towards the ceiling and really feel like you're reaching, you're holding firmly to the thing, and you're also reaching really strong and up. Nice. All the way down, either side of your knees. And then reach the left arm up and really feel you're gripping firmly and you're reaching at the same time. And then all the way down. Nice. Stretch your legs out long, drop your tins down, and then just roll out through your belly. Have a deep circle through your belly. Circling, rolling, and then roll in the other direction. Nice. So, have your legs straight out in front of you. They should be. Have your hands on your tins, either side of your feet, either side of your legs, and slowly begin to push them forwards. And as you push them forwards, where do they push to? Are you holding on top, or can you push the edges of them? So be at the edges of your thing and try and push them as far forward as you can go. And then glide back. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling, reaching really up and tall. Bend your elbows, bring your hands to the floor, and then slide your hands out and see if you can push your tins a little bit further, like 1 millimeter further. Nice. And then slide back. And reach your hands up towards the ceiling, reaching really tall. And then bend your elbows. And again, slide your hands along the floor. Can you reach 1 millimeter further? Right, cool. Slide back. And reach your arms up towards the ceiling, really tall. Bend your elbows. And again, slide your hands along the floor. 1 millimeter more. And come back, or even just touch it. And reaching up towards the ceiling last time. And bend your elbows. And glide out and try and push them 1 millimeter further. And coming back. Nice. So that's the kind of the full maximum of our 2 arms together. So we're going to try a twist, and actually it's quite amazing. We should have more range with a twist. So bring your left hand beside you, so the left hand will rest on the floor. And then reach your right hand up towards the ceiling, reaching up and looking up. And then look down towards your left tin and begin to reach your right hand out, 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 and see if you can touch your left tin with your right hand. Nice. And then reaching up towards the ceiling, reaching up, 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 looking up as you reach up. And again, gliding down, baby finger side is cutting the air as you come down. You're leaning into your left hand. Can you touch your left tin with your right hand? Nice. All the way up. Reaching up towards the ceiling, really tall. Last time, reach with your right hand to the left tin, all the way out in front. Welcome back, Francesca. And all the way up, reach up towards the ceiling. Other side, bend your right elbow, bring your right hand beside you. Stretch the left hand up towards the ceiling, reaching really tall. And then reaching out like you're cutting the air with the baby finger side of your hand, and then try and touch your right tin with your left hand. And then all the way up, reaching really tall. And gliding out with your left hand down towards your right tin, reaching out. And then reaching up, really, really tall, create length, like you're side bending practically into the body. And then all the way out and touch the right tin with your left hand. Nice, and come all the way back. Nice, just roll your shoulders. And then in the other direction. So we're going to do kind of a diving thing. We do it often with our feet wide. We'll do that in a while. So draw the left hand back to your left hip, and then reach with your right hand out towards your left tin and see if you can touch it. Like, is there like a boing that you can do? And then bring your right hand to your right hip, and then reach with your left hand to your right tin and try and reach out. So you're gliding from one side to the other. So you're bringing your left hand to your hip, your right hand reaches down towards your left tin. So you're reaching towards the opposite tin with your hand, and your hand is on your hip. So your left hand's on your hip, your right hand reaches towards the left. Right hand is on your hip, your left hand reaches towards the right. Just feel that maybe turning your head as you reach helps you. Maybe looking forward helps you. How do you touch the tin out forward in front of you? One more time each side. Reach and reach. Nice. So scoot yourself forward because we'll never be able to pick them up. Grab your tins and pull them back towards you again. And hold on to them. Nice. So have both arms in front of you again. Nice. And then like a bow and arrow, pull the right elbow back so that you're really pulled your elbow back and your tin is beside your chest and your left arm is reaching really forward. Grip your tins firmly and it'll engage your arms in a different way. Nice. And then both arms forward. And then draw your left elbow back, really pulling it back like a bow and arrow. And then forward. I'll do that a few times. Right elbow comes back, twisting deeply. And forward. And then left elbow pulls back. And forward. Nice. Right elbow pulls back. Forward. Left elbow pulls back. And forward. Nice. So we're going to dive with these things, okay? Right. So pull your left elbow back. And then reach towards the right foot with your left hand. No, left foot with your right hand, sorry. And then come back, both hands beside your chest. And then reach your left hand to the right foot. And then come back. So now you're gliding with weight. So listen to your spine as you do this. So both hands beside your chest. And then one hand reaches to the opposite foot outside. Both hands to your chest. Opposite foot outside. And just feel, how does weight differ in your spine? How does it feel as you twist, as you reach, as you twist, as you reach? Great. One more time each side. Twist and reach. Nice. Twist and reach. Super cool. Get rid of your things and come all the way up into a downward dog. So coming into your downward dog, your feet are parallel, your hands are pushing down into the floor, and just feel that you can wiggle it out. All that lengthening and stretching into the lower back and rib cage. How do you really feel into, connect into, deepen into the deep of your spine, the deep of your waist? Have a wiggle, feel it, connect. Yeah, stretch the left foot up towards the ceiling, reaching tall. And then draw the left knee to your forehead and your forehead to your knee. Stretch your left leg up towards the ceiling, reaching tall. And then draw your left knee to your forehead and your forehead to your knee. And again, stretch the left leg up and back behind you. And then draw your left knee to your forehead and your forehead to your knee. Great, other leg. Draw the right leg up and back behind you. And then bend the right knee, forehead to your knee, knee to your forehead. Stretch the right leg up and back behind you. Bend your knee, forehead to your knee, knee to your forehead. And again, stretch the right leg up and back behind you. Bend your knee, forehead to your knee, knee to your forehead. Great. And pushing back, downward dog. Find the length of it, the stretch of it. And then stepping your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Just pausing there. Right foot is outside your right hand. Left leg is long behind you. And just deepen into your lunge. So really sink your hips down towards the floor a little bit deeper. And then lift your lunge by straightening a little bit out through the right leg. Lift your lunge. And sink your lunge. Deepening into the hips. And then lift your lunge. Nice. Sink your lunge. And lift your lunge. Nice. So sink your lunge. Your right knee is bending. Your left leg is straight. Bring your right fist to the floor. And then pull your right elbow back like a lawnmower. And really pause there. You're looking down at the floor. Your elbows pulled back. And really feel like you can sink your hips a little bit more. And then look towards the wall straight in front of you. So you're kind of doing a back bend as you do this. So you're lifting your chest. You're looking at the wall in front of you. And you're pulling your right elbow back. Your left leg is straight behind you. You're leaning deeply into the chest. Nice. And then stretch your right arm forward and touch the floor as far forward as you can. Nice. Pull your right elbow back. As you pull it back into lawnmower, look forward and lean deeply into your belly as you look forward. Nice. And then stretch your right arm long, reaching out forward. Super. One more time. Pull your right elbow back. Lean deeply into your belly as you try and pull your elbow back as far as you can with your hand beside your chest. Bring both hands to the floor. Drop your left knee to the floor. And just stretch out through your right leg, and then roll your right foot in a circle. As you circle into that right foot, just feel the ankle, and then circle in the other direction. Nice. Flex your foot, point your toes, flex your foot, and point your toes. Great. Bring both knees back together, and then push back into your downward dog. And just have a moment, wiggling a little bit, one leg and then the other. Nice, and then step your left foot to the outside of your left leg, left hand. So your left foot is coming forward. Nice. So here, just settle into your lunge. So your right leg is straight, your left knee is forward. And just lift your lunge and sink your lunge. Lift your lunge. You lift the lunge by straightening the front leg a little bit. And then sink your lunge. Lift your lunge. And sink your lunge. Nice. And then settle into your lunge. Your back leg is straight. Your left knee is deeply bent. Bring your left fist to the floor and then pull your elbow back into lawnmower and then look forward. So you're really leaning into the belly, leaning into the chest. Your elbows pulling back and you're really opening deeply. Nice. Reach your left hand forward, as far forward as you'll go. Drop your head down in the direction of the floor. Now then pull your left elbow back, really pulling it back, deepening it back, opening through the chest. Nice. Reach your left hand forward, reaching out, drop your head down. Last time, pull your elbow back, leaning into the deep of your belly as you open. Lawnmower on the left arm, open through the chest. Bring both hands to the floor, drop your right knee to the floor, and then just stretch out through the left leg. So stretching out through the left leg, and then roll your foot in a circle. Circling. And then in the other direction. Point your toes, flex your foot. Point your toes, flex your foot. And one more time. Point your toes and flex your foot. Nice. Bring your knees back towards each other. And just do a shoulder shrug. Squeeze your shoulders together. And pull your shoulders apart. Squeeze your shoulders together. And pull them apart. Nice. So walk your hands a little bit more forward and then just sit your bum back into a long leaning. It's not quite a child's pose, it's more like when you really lengthen from your hands, gripping the floor all the way back into your sit bones. And have a sense of really strong and long into the armpits as you open them, as you lean your head in the direction of the floor. Nice. Walk your hands back and just rest yourself back into a child's pose. So just pausing there for a moment, just notice your shoulders, notice your hips, notice your feet, your legs. Be with the deep of you. Nice. So come sit on your bum again. The legs out long in front of you. And so we're going to do two different versions of this. They're called conditioning. I know some of you hate them. I love them. I love these. I love them. So great. So bring your hands either side of your knees or either side of your thighs, or see what's right for you. Usually either side of your knees is probably enough. Definitely not behind you, because that's a different thing. So your hands are either side of your thighs, or maybe moving towards the knees a little bit more. And then point through both toes and push your hands into the floor. And so when you push your hands into the floor, you should feel like your abdominal muscles engage. So just feel that. Push your hands into the floor, feel your abdominal muscles engage. And then pointing into your right leg, lift your right leg up and then lower it down. So it might be a fish flick. If it's like really hard to lift, then bring your hands back a bit, but try not to move your torso. So your torso staying still as you lift your right leg up and down. So these are called conditionings. What they do is it's mobilizing a strong, short muscle. So it's different than most other exercises. So you're just trying to lift your right leg up and down. You're going to be feeling this in your thigh, in your belly, and somewhere else that you can't quite name. It's like, where do I feel this pain? And you're like, maybe it's just the whole right side of my body. Other side, left leg. Lift your left leg up and down. As it lifts up and down, just get a sense of where do you feel this work happening. It's like bones of your left thigh, your left knee, your belly, your hip, your left shoulder. Nice, and then both feet to the floor. We're going to try both, just because it's good. So push both hands down, lift both legs off the floor, or whatever version of that suits you. So really push and lift, push, lift, push, and lift. Super cool, amazing. So bring your hands back a little bit, lean back and bend both of your knees in and touch the floor with your toes, and then stretch your legs out and let your legs come rest. And then lean back, let your toes touch the floor as close as you can towards you, and then stretch your legs out. Let them stretch out as far as they can before touching the floor, and then let them land. And again, lean back, let your toes touch the floor, and then stretching your legs long, bring them to the floor. Cool, bring your feet wide. Your feet are as wide as you feel like you're comfortable, you're not straining in any way. Bring your hands either side of your right thigh, point into your right foot, and then lift your right leg up and down. So again, it might be a fish movement that happens. It could be a flick. Just see what is the movement possibility of engagement into your leg. It's really amazing. It's like, can you move your body? It's quite it's such an intriguing thing. Can you move your body? And then the other side, both hands either side of the left leg, up and down. Super cool. Both hands between your thighs. And then lean forward and then lean back, let your feet lift. So you lean forward and then lean back, let both feet lift. Lean forward, lean back, let both feet lift. Lean forward, lean back, both feet lift. Last time, lean forward, lean back, both feet lift and down. Cool. So grab your tins, last time. Right? And this time we're going to dive with our tins towards our feet. So bend your left elbow and then pull your left arm back behind you. So it's like you're throwing your tin back behind you to the left. And then dive with your right hand down towards your left foot. So my left arm is behind me and my right arm is down towards my left foot. And then come back to center, both hands either side of your chest. And then fling your right arm back and then glide the left arm over towards the right foot. And then come back, both hands at your chest. So glide with your right hand down towards the left foot. Come back. Glide with your left hand down towards the right foot. And come back. And just see if you can find a flow in that. The arm that's reaching behind you, let it really extend in wellness. What is the range that suits you as you do this? As you glide from one side to the other side. One side to the other side. So functional range of motion, strong range of motion. So to be strong in what you can move in is an amazing skill to have. Really notice what is your strength capability, where do you feel the effort of this. One more time each side, reaching the opposite hand towards the opposite foot. Nice. And draw your feet towards each other. We'll lift your feet off the floor. Bring your arms either side of your knees, just because it's so much fun. Bring both hands, arms straight down towards the right. And then swing them all the way over towards the left. And just do that a few times. And you swing from one side to the other side. You can travel back through the center if you want to. So you travel back between your belly and your thighs. And see which one do you prefer. Up and over, arms stay completely straight, or through, straighten, through, straighten. I think I like through and straighten. Actually, both nice. One more time each side. Nice, get rid of your tins. Good juju in those tins. Feed them to somebody nice. Come all the way to the front of your mat with your hands on the floor and your feet on the floor. Nice. And then lift your bum, push yourself back. Walk your feet a bit closer. Bring your hands back. So scoot yourself back with your hands and your bum. So you're just scooching yourself back and then scoot yourself forwards. I've gotten really good at this. Scoot yourself back. So both feet are on the floor. And then scoot yourself forward. Both feet on the floor. So the next one I'm going to do is you're going to lift the left foot in the air. And then you're going to scoot yourself back with only the right foot on the floor. So scoot yourself back. Only one foot on the floor. Scoot yourself back. Only one foot on the floor. Scoot yourself forward. Nice. And then change feet. Bring the right foot into the air. Keep your left foot on the floor. And then scoot yourself back. Only the left foot on the floor as you scooch. Right foot is floating in the air. And then scoot yourself forward. Notice where you're working. Kind of everywhere. And all the way forward. Nice. Come roll all the way back and land on the floor. Bring both feet to the floor. Bring your arms out to the side. And we have an amazing selection of twists that we can do. So you can twist with your knees bent and just drop them down to the side. You can bring your feet a bit wider into wide kneed twist. You can draw your right knee up towards you and straighten the left leg and then twist with one leg straight, one knee bent. See which twist suits you right now. Kind of go, For me, the feet as wide as my mat. And then dropping my knees down to the side, and that really opens to the front of the belly wonderfully, because you're doing kind of closey belly stuff there. So maybe that, unless you have a particular twist that you really want to do, bring your feet as wide as your mat and drop your knees down towards the right. And just let that settle. Feel your hands, you were mobilizing your hands there, feel your belly, you were really working your belly. You were doing these amazing muscles called the scales and the multifiddies, I can never say the name. And they're the tiny, tiny little muscles around the spine that are how we twist our spine in strength and in wellness. So they mobilize, that's how we turn. Like the other day I had to turn and reach into the back of my mum's car by going between the driver's seat and the passenger seat and reach back for her dog. And I was really amazed at how strong and mobile you need to be to really reach very far and twist. It was really cool. It was like one of those real life applications of, oh, that's why we do this stuff. Nice, bring your knees back up to center. And drop your knees down to the side, left side. Nice, and all the way back up to center. Just coming to center, squeeze your right knee up onto your chest, just pausing there, deep squeeze. And then lower to the floor, and then draw your left knee up onto your chest, squeeze it in, deep squeeze. Nice, and then stretch both legs up towards the ceiling. So you have loads of options here. One is that you just leave your legs straight up towards the ceiling. The other is that you hold on to something, either your feet, your ankles, your knees, and you pull your feet down towards the floor above your head by physically pulling them down. The other is that you bring your arms down towards your mat and you push your hands into the floor and you roll up into a plow. The other is that you bring your hands to your back and you push up into your shoulder stand. So see which one suits you. See which version of legs in the air suits you. You could literally just be wonderfully happy lying on the floor, you can bring your fists underneath your bum and stretch your legs up towards the ceiling, or you can hold on somewhere. What do you do? How do you do this? What do you feel comfortable doing right now? You can, if you're with your hands holding onto your feet, you can kind of rolling along the spine. It's kind of like this deep massage that happens. Let's see what you want to do. If you're in the plow, main thing with all these ones is don't turn your head. So listen to me rather than look. So just finding the comfort or the connection or the ease of this moment. It's wonderful. The sun has just come out here. I hope it's come out wherever you guys are. Nice. And then slowly rolling down. And bringing both feet to the floor. And just pausing there with your knees bent and your feet on the floor. And then just push the back of your head into the floor. So only the back of your head. And when you push the back of your head into the floor, you notice that your shoulders get a bit lighter on the floor and then drop them down. And again, push the back of your head into the floor. Let your spine be lifted by the pressure of the back of your head. And then drop. And one last time, push the back of your head into the floor. And drop. Nice. Bring the soles of your feet together, your knees apart. And just pausing there just for a minute or two. Just let your knees drop, your belly soften. Just draw your knees towards each other. And either keep your knees bent with your feet flat on the floor, or stretch one leg out and then the other leg out. And just pause in relaxation. So just taking just 2 or 3 minutes, resting, pausing. You can have your arms wide, your palms facing the ceiling. You can have your hands on your belly. Just feel that you're really dropping and resting. Maybe you get a sense of your hands really clearly. You know, that gripping of something with our hands really brings us all the way down into the very tips of our fingers in movement. It's really enjoying that sense of how it changes the whole dynamic from the spine all the way out into the fingertips. Okay. Just taking a deeper breath, and reaching into your arms, extending into your legs, and just finding that awakening, that arising. And either bending one knee Bending the other, or rocking your knees from side to side. Squeezing your knees up towards your chest. Rolling yourself over. Slowly, slowly emerging.